we go. So I want to review how to find the parts of a parabola from an equation using the Casio calculator. Now what we've already done is we went to menu and we went to graph. It's the third one. You can push the 3 or you can push memory graph. Now what it did is we took us to this y equals, make sure these say y equals, and say I accidentally pushed something in, I need to delete that. Make sure it doesn't have anything extra. And we typed this in.
Okay.
Now at the very beginning, it's the negative. So we use the one that has the parentheses. Negative 2x squared minus. Now when you get to this one, you use the minus sign.
Okay.
In between, you need to use one of these 4 operators.
Okay.
So we use this minus 12, and then x, and then minus 10. And then I pushed enter, and that's where we did this one. Now to get to the graph, you could push this again. Okay. Well, it's not working. If anything's not working, my first thing to try is exit. And then I'm going to try it again. And now I get the graph. So when we're working from the Casio calculator, usually the first thing that we're going to do is the vertex. We're going to usually find that one first. And to find the vertex, we need to know if it's a max or min. So
max.
Yes, we're going to, yes, exactly. We're going to visualize and picture it's up here at the top.
Yes.
And it comes down. So there's part of it that's cut out. If you want to look at it, you can push it out to see it, but I just need to know that it's max. So I'm going to push here, G-solve, then max. So G-solve max, it says max right here.
Max.
And here it is. Now it's separated. What I want to do when I write the answer.
X negative 3.
Is I'm going to put it together. I'm going to use, if I use the X and the Y, that's an ordered pair and you use parentheses. So that's basically, you go G-solve max. Now if it's a min, you go G-solve min. Now if you hit the wrong one, it's going to give you, you know, some crazy answer. So make sure you're using the correct one. Now, one way to get to the graph is to push this here, but I can also, if this says draw, I can push all of these, refer to these buttons here. So the last one says draw. Another way to get to the graph is there also. So I have the vertex. Now, if I have the vertex, now I can find the axis of symmetry. So what is that?
Axis of symmetry also negative 3 to 8.
Yes, so we're gonna, you use the first one and then you always start with x equals. So this one is x equals negative 3. This is the vertical line that goes
to x.
Yeah. And it goes through the middle.
Yeah.
Now, the roots, which sometimes they're called, do you remember all the names for roots?
Roots, one moment.
Let's review. There's 4 names for roots.
Root, X, no, I forgot. Root, axis, no.
Well, one starts with the X. It's a name for the X intercepts. So these are 2 of the names. They can be called roots. They can be called X intercepts. One starts with the Z and one starts with an X, S. So sometimes they'll call these the zeros.
Yes. Yeah.
And what they are the solutions.
Solution. Yes.
And what we're looking for are these points where it crosses the x-axis, wherever those two are. And there's usually two.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking for. Now, how many does this one have? Does this one have 2, 1, or 0?
2.
Yes, right here
Yes.
and right
From
here.
to here.
Now, if you look real close, you can probably count this. This one is -1.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5.
-1 and -5. But, you know, if you're not so sure with the counting, what we're going to go ahead and do is use the calculator. So I'm going to, again, use this button that says GSolve, which is F5, GSolve, and then where it says root, and that's the first word, and so it goes with the first button. So I'm going to go GSolve root, and I get this little plus sign over here. And this one says -5, and it says the word root. So this is one of them, but there's two of them. So to get the other one, I need to use this button and pop it to there. Now the plus, this floating plus sign is over here. It still says root, and there's the other one, -1. Or I can go back. -5.
-5.
And -1. Now this is the short way to write it. If you write it out long ways, and you can see it doesn't matter which order you write them in, because they're points, and so each point will have an X and a Y coordinate. So this is the X and Y coordinate for this point, and this is the X and Y coordinate for that point. But we usually, the shortest way, we just write the X's for each of those. But sometimes they'll write them out the long way and write them out this place. So for this, for the Casio calculator, these three are going to be found when you go to Menu and Graph. If I want to find the two other points, and again, I want two other points. We have this point and this point. Here's -1 and -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my roots. I could go ahead and graph the vertex. -3, 8. And I can already kind of see where it's going down and up this way. But I want to, oh wait, -3, +8.
Positive.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew something was wrong because it's supposed to go upside down. And this one was pointing up, so I knew that was wrong. So double check. It's over -3, but then +8. So I already have 3 points. What I want is 2 other points to make it easier to draw. So to do that, what I need to do on this one is we're going to go to menu number 5. To get the extra points, I'm going to go back to push the menu. And this time I'm going to go over here to table. You can just push the 5, or you can go down and make it black, and then you push the enter. Now, I double check to make sure the equation is still there. And this time, instead of it saying draw, it should say table right here. And you can get to it 2 ways. You can either push this button, or you can push the enter again.
Okay.
And you should get a table of values. Now, the idea is that I'm trying to graph this equation. So the idea here is that I want to get points that are on this graph paper. This graph paper only goes 10 in every direction. So the trouble is when I push the table, I get these numbers that are way too big. It starts at 24 and they get bigger. So when these numbers don't work, on the Casio, when you push table, it's always gonna default to this, 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually, if you go down, you can see 5, but that's as much as it's gonna get. So when these, when these don't work, then I wanna try -1, -2, -3. So to change this 1 to -1, or any number, it doesn't matter what's there, I'm just gonna type on top of it. I'm gonna push -1, and now I see it here. And then to put it into the table, I push enter. So -1, enter. And now this has changed. -1, 0. Oh, but I already have that one. So it's not another point. Let me try -2. -2, enter. Just did -2, enter. Now I change it to -2. -2, 6. Now that's a good point. They're not all going to be good, but that's a good one. It doesn't repeat. It's a new point. And it's less than 10. Now -3, I already have. When x is -3, I know that one. -3 is 8, so it's not new. So I'm going to try -4. -4, 6. And so I have 2 other points. Another good one that's going to work for this one is actually, we skipped over it, was 0. Now 0, -10.
-10.
That's just on the edge, but would be here. So I'm going to go -2, 6, and get that one in my paper. And then -4, 6. And now I've got some more points to draw. Now it's going to make some more sense when I go ahead and trace the points. And it gives me a more accurate. And I'm actually going to go down to that one. It's probably going to go through there. So that's just a review of what we did Thursday, is to go through these different points. And again, the buttons that we pushed for that one, for the Casio, they're on this document that is, you can't see it, it's 2, 2. It used to be a 6, but now we changed it to chapter 2. And it tells you menu 3, type in the equation, draw, GSolve. So if you forget which buttons to push, you can use this document and it will go to find GSolve, Y-intercept. We didn't do that one today, but you could find that one. The vertex. The vertex. You have to first think in your brain, is it a max or min? And then you, depending, you go GSolve max or GSolve min. And then you use the X number to make your line of symmetry. And then for the last one, you go to the table. All of these go to menu 3, and this one. And this one, the last one is menu 5. Just remember, no repeats. We want brand new points. So that's just the review from